Hey there, it's Lumi. In this video, I'm going to talk about the reality of being an INTJ Vtuber. So, INTJ stands for introverted, intuitive, thinking, and judging. So, it's actually an acronym of what I said earlier based on the Myers-Briggs type indicator. And based on this type, I'm someone or whoever else is an INTJ. We are people who have principles and we stick to our principles. We're not easily swayed by the public's opinion. No matter how many people follow them, we're not going to be swayed easily. And that means it's difficult for us to grow as a VTuber, because if you want to grow as a VTuber, there are two things that we have to do, just two things, and if anyone can do these two things, they can grow pretty easily. So these two things, which I think you know already, are: number one, you have to please your audience; number two, you have to be favored by the algorithm, which basically the main point is you have to please people, or you have to please the algorithm. So when it comes to pleasing the audience in the VTuber scene, when we talk about our audience, what do they want, right? And it's pretty obvious. They're very horny, and they want their tuber waifus to be their imaginary wife, imaginary girlfriend, and if not, they want the VTuber to be their imaginary friend or some sort of companion. So if not for female VTubers, can be male VTubers also, which I think everyone is striving to be, just a companion to the viewers. So it's something that I find very hard to fulfill, because as an INTJ, we're not born to please others. We're born to stand up to what we believe in, to be who we are, and sometimes it means to have a strong moral code, and sometimes not all INTJs have good moral code. Like some INTJs don't even have a moral compass, but it means that we're very stubborn. In a sense, we are very stubborn. We stand to our principles, and we're not easily swayed by them. So now I'm, as someone who's have a lot of moral principles which I cannot break, and I do not want to break. It's not like I cannot or oppressed to do this, I just don't want to. It's just my moral principles not to do it. Someone who's like that, it's very hard to grow as a VTuber, as an INTJ in this community there, because technically there is no community for us. There's no community that embraces us, people like us, you know. Like, I'm not trying to be like very pessimistic, but the fact is, it doesn't matter even if you're not good at something. If you are able to please people, like make them feel good about themselves, they will automatically like you, and it doesn't matter if you're not even good. So you can be nothing, but if you're good at talking, you're going to get your way. So it's not just applying on the VTuber scene. Actually, if you think about it, it applies in the real life as well, which is why most VTubers suffer a lot because of it. We're not talkers, we are doers. We just do it and we don't talk much, which means as a result, people don't like us, because we're not making them feel good about themselves. We're just we're just having fun and not caring about whether they're happy or not. And the second thing is being favored by the algorithm. So when we talk about algorithm, it's how the internet promotes you. So now if you think about it, every social media or every website now are controlling this, are controlling who gets promoted, are controlling who gets to be at the main page, who gets to be on the top search. If you pay them, you're going to be there at the main page, you're going to be up there, everyone can see you, you're going to get promoted, right? And if you see now, Google is not as reliable as before. If you type anything, the one that goes on top is the promoted one. And if you look at Twitter, they're applying the Twitter blue function, which means like if you pay them, they're going to promote you. and you're going to be the verified users or whatever they call it. And if you are the verified user, your comment will be promoted and people can see it more. And if you're not a verified user, it's going to be like drowned in endless series of comments or replies, or much worse, is just going to be hidden and people have to press see more replies, right? You might even get like labeled as a spam bot. So that's how the reality is right now. You have to be favored by the algorithm, and algorithm will favor you if you pay them to favor you. And other than financial means, you have to make videos that are trending. So whatever that is trending right now, like hashtag Valorant, whatever is trending, so you just have to keep playing that game, which is a bit of a 50-50 because there's a lot of people playing the same game. But if you have the financial means, that's going to give you that extra boost that make you more favorable than other streamers. So let's recap. Number one, we have to please our audience, and our audience just want something that we as INTJ would want to give to them. They're horny, basically. And if they're not horny, they want us to please them. They make them feel good about themselves, which we don't really care, to be honest with you. And I'm pretty sure with you listening to me talking, you already know that you're not going to like this VTuber, because you know I'm not here to please you. And it's the same with either INTJ. We're not here to please anyone. We're just here to have fun. If you want to be friends, sure, we can be friends, but do not expect anything from us. We're like very low commitment kind of person. We don't want to make any connections or ties. Like, we can have connection, but it's not gonna be like we're not going to maintain it, basically, if that makes sense. Oh, that makes it sound very snobbish, but that's the reality of being an INTJ. So if you're wondering if I have any advice for this, I don't have any advice, because it's not a problem, it's a tragedy. And when it's a tragedy, it's not something you can fix. It's something you face and you just suffer inside. You just wake up and wonder, like, why can't I be like the rest of the people, like the rest of the community who just give the audience or the viewers whatever they want? I do think about that a lot. But then at the end of the day, I wake up thinking like that. But at the end of the day, I think if I be that kind of person, I'm not going to be happy either way. Why? Because I ended up giving up my principles and I ended up being fake and superficial, which is completely opposite of what an INTJ is. INTJ is very authentic. We stay true to ourselves. We don't care what the world thinks. We don't care if the world outcasts us. We're going to stay the way we are, no matter what happens. So it's a tragedy and we just face it. And then but my tip is, just a tip to go through this suffering, is just stay true to yourself. It doesn't matter what they think, and it doesn't matter if you don't grow, because being, as always, like introverts quotes, is being alone is much better than being fake. Because even if you're with the wrong people, you're not going to be happy. You're going to be in a room full of people, but you're going to feel lonely because you gave up all your personality, like you give up your traits, you give up your principles, and you have nothing. So that is, in the end, the tip to face this tragedy, which is just, suck it up, just drown in it, just face it, basically. Sorry for the harsh words. We just face it. And the best tip, I think, will just have no expectation. Have zero expectation. So when I say expectation is, when we do something in our life, even in our hobby, pastime, we always expect results. We do something, we expect results. And we expect it fast. Right now, it's not even about speed. It's about not even having any expectation. It's not expecting any results. So it means, like, when you upload something, when you tweet something, when you comment something, when you edit something, always expect zero results. Because it's not being pessimistic, it's positive in a way. Because you're letting go of that control over something you cannot control. Because results are something you cannot control. You can only control the hard work part. You can only work hard, but you cannot control results. You cannot like scold the result to come to you or be angry and expect the results to come to you. No, it won't happen. So it's not pessimistic because you're not burdening yourself being angry about it. It's like trying to control your cat, expecting it to listen to you, eat when you want them to eat, or sleep when you want them to sleep, or sit still so you can take a picture. They won't do that because they're cats, and cats are uncontrollable. And there are many things in life that are uncontrollable, not just cats. Results are also uncontrollable. So you don't get frustrated when you don't control your cat, right? Because you don't expect yourself to be able to control it. Its own mind, it has its own mind, its own emotions, its own brain. It wants to do whatever it wants to do whenever it wants. So it's the same with results. Results are like cats. You can't control them. They do whatever the hell they want. You just do your part, do your hard work. It doesn't matter what happens next. But I understand that sometimes you get those feelings like, am I inadequate? Am I not doing enough? No, you're not actually inadequate. You're enough. It's just that this is how society is built. Even if you change yourself, even if you become superficial, yes, you might get fans. You might get famous. But in the long run, you're going to be very miserable because you're going to get fans that you don't even like. You're only going to get fans that are going to obsess with you in the wrong way, the way that you don't want them to. You're only going to get people that you don't like to surround you, and you don't want that. That means you have to be even more fake, and you have to be consistent in being superficial, which is like the worst nightmare for an INTJ. So don't ever dream of wanting to change yourself. And if you're still wondering whether it will work out, well, I'll let you know that it doesn't. I've tested it. I like to do experiments on my life. So I tried to be fake for a couple of months. It does get me some friends. It does get me some people to be there. But they're not really going to be there when you are having some hardships. Only the true friends that you don't really suck up to or please are going to be there for you. And those true friends are people, even if you're not putting on your mask, they're going to be there for you. And those are those people that matters the most. Those who stay with you when you are in trouble. So just stay true to yourself. Keep making content. Keep making videos as long as you're happy being yourself. Right? See ya.